Welcome. I'm Lyndon Thorpe. Welcome to Mindful Moments Touch Your Heart Every Day. Well, this is day 2. I'm here on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday to help you to lay down a foundation of mindfulness to sustain your busy life. I'm an embodiment mentor. If you haven't visited before, then I work to help people get back into their bodies, to get back to a natural way of living, using the environment and the planet and so on, and to really step away from the limited mind, brilliant but limited, the mind between the ears. We need to step away from that. It's not to be lived by. We have to live with our own systems. And this is my theme this week. So as we move into our mindful practice, I'd like you to reflect gently on these ideas that the limited mind is a brilliant tool and we need it for our modern life. It analyzes, it calculates, it compares, it summarizes. It's a brilliant mind, and we've developed it so well. But it's no way to live. We can't live in that critical, calculating way. If we do, we become very unhappy. And so I show people the way to step away from that wonderful series of tools that we have at our disposal to find ancient tools that existed long before language, long before the intellectual mind developed. And if we go back to those ancient tools, then we can find equilibrium in the way we live. So today we're going to focus a little bit more on the breath. If you were here yesterday, on the first day we focus on whole body listening, which stimulates the vagus nerve, which means that the body and the limited mind are connected, and we can get signals of distress if we are overworking or burning out. And so whole body listening helps us to involve the whole body in detecting the environment and in detecting any vibrations in the environment. On the second Mindful Moments Day, I tend to focus on the breath. And the breath is really your most valuable asset. We take it for granted, so much so. But really, without it, we couldn't exist. Our existence is due to our ability to breathe. It's that crucial. Yeah. So please, as we go into today's practice, please focus on that amazing relationship we have between our fully evolved bodies and the earth. The oxygen we receive, we can process, and we eliminate the unwanted components of raw oxygen. So it's an extraordinary relationship we have with the planet. So let's get started. If you were here yesterday, you will remember I start all of my sessions with a bell ringing, my bell. And when you detect the vibrations of my bell, please allow your eyelids to drop, to fall. This is non-doing practice. You don't have to do anything. Simply follow my voice. You just have to allow things which are completely natural anyway and have been taken under control by the limited mind. So we're simply allowing these things. So please, when you detect the vibrations of my bell, allow your eyelids to fall And don't close your eyes entirely. Leave them open a rim at the bottom of your gaze and glance at the tip of your nose. Here we go. Wonderful. So take a few moments to make the transition from the overwhelming visual world and the intellectual world of ideas and concepts and so on, down to come down into your inner core. It's much quieter here, very little distraction. And as you come down, you'll notice probably two things. The first one is you become very aware of your breath. In the visual world, the intellectual world, we tend to breathe very shallowly. But here in the invisible world, we can go deeply into becoming conscious of our breath. The benefits of conscious breathing are innumerable, both physically and mentally, and spiritually too. So let's really breathe with the breath. You don't need to change anything. Just watch your breath and go with it. The in-breath and the out-breath. That rhythm, just breathe with your breath so it's really comfortable. But give it all your attention. Yeah, this is the luxury of mindfulness. We can devote it pure attention to things we never attend to, or rarely. Don't breathe very naturally with your breath. The second thing you may notice is your tendency to generate words and images as I speak. This is normal in the intellectual world. We've been taught to do it, but here in the invisible world, we don't need them. Words and images are symbols. Here in the inner core, we get beneath those symbols to find reality. So just gently turn yourself away from that temptation to make images and words to match mine, and instead just follow my voice. Just surrender to my voice. At this point, please notice how you feel. Your spine needs to be vertical, the crown of your head going up, the base of your spine going down into your chair, feet flat on the floor. And if you're standing, which is great, then the weight of your body going down through your feet. And of course, the base of the spine will drop as well. This is the most beneficial position to be in. Okay. So you're aware of your breathing. You're breathing with your breath. Your spine is vertical. You're sitting beautifully or standing beautifully. Crown of your head going up. The chin a little bit dropped. So you've got a good length on the back of your neck. And so we're ready now to go into stage 1. We're going to use all the energy of your mind, which you would normally be using in the visual, intellectual world. We're going to use it here. We're going to channel it into a potent laser beam. to bring it all together with no distractions and potentize it into a single, strong, bright, hot laser beam. And we're going to slide that laser beam outside our immediate environment, outside the walls and windows, outside the ceilings and roof. If you're in a vehicle, outside the vehicle. And if you're outdoors, that's fine. Just as far afield as you can. Project your laser beam as far afield as you can. And we're going to start scanning. Scanning meticulously, little by little, above, below, to the left, to the right, in front, and behind. We're detecting vibrations. So any vibration, no matter how small, how large, how far, how near, you're going to detect it, pause, accept, and continue to scan. So here in the invisible world, we don't need to label, we don't need to guess, we just accept, like an animal would. Animal doesn't analyze or label any vibrations in its environment. And really, as you scan, you're like a tiger in a jungle, creeping through the undergrowth. Every single skin pore, every single hair follicle alert. Any vibration could be the next meal or a threat. And so animals are completely aware. So as you scan the outer environment, be aware from the crown of your head right down to the tips of your toes, every single skin pore, every single hair follicle, alert. And scan as far afield as you can. Australian Aboriginals can detect vibrations at 10 miles away. I've seen it with my own eyes. We can do it too. It's an ancient tool. And we're using the whole body here. In the intellectual world, we tend to be told to listen with the ears and the ear mechanism. But that's governed really by the intellectual mind. We're talking here about whole body listening. And if you use your whole body to listen outside in your external environment, as far afield as you can, then you are stimulating the vagus nerve, which is the principal nerve from the brain into the body and down into the arms, right down into the gut. It's the feedback nerve. So keep moving systematically as far afield as you can, scanning little by little, detecting vibrations. And when you do, pause, accept, and move on. Wonderful. Okay, let's now move to stage 2. Please slide the laser beam of your mind, unique to you, potent, hot, bright, powerful, inside your immediate environment, inside the walls and windows, inside your roof and ceilings. If you're in a vehicle, inside the vehicle. And if you're outdoors, create a 30-meter radius around you and scan up to that limit. And start to scan in detail, systematically, right up into the corners of your room or up into the sky if you're outdoors, and right down into the floor corners, down into the earth if you're outdoors. And when you scan, you're using your whole body, from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. And as you go on scanning your interior environment within your 30-meter radius if you're outdoors, I want to bring your attention to your breath. Your breath is your most precious asset. It costs nothing. It's not visible. And yet, without it, we couldn't exist. This is the magic of the invisible world. And breathing for human beings is only possible because of our relationship to the Earth. Planet Earth is the only planet scientists know of that provides breathable gas. And so constantly, 24/7, for 50, 60, 70, 80, even 90 years or more, we breathe between 10,000 and 12,000 breaths every 24 hours. It's remarkable. Then our bodies are so evolved that we can process that raw oxygen provided by the earth, and very efficiently we can retain the nutrients for our thriving and expel the unwanted components. And this goes on, flickering away. This process flickers away 24/7, and we don't have to do a thing. Unless we're sick or we've had an accident, then the breath just breathes. We don't do anything. Therefore, becoming conscious of your breath and becoming grateful for this extraordinary resource, which is only possible through planet Earth, then we can start to build a foundation of gratitude for all the things we take for granted. So instead of desiring more and more outside in the external world, if we come inside, then we can start to value the things that we already have. Without question, human beings can breathe. So please feel that sense of gratitude building up inside you while you continue scanning. really detecting any vibration. And when you do, pausing, accepting and moving on, seeing how much of your interior environment you can cover. Now let's move to stage 3. We need to make a transformation quickly so we don't spend too long on each stage. But of course, in your own time, you may want to experiment with this idea of whole body listening, and that will do you nothing but good. I recommend it. Okay, stage 3 is where we slide smoothly and without effort the laser beam of our mind inside our body, right down to the tips of the toes. The feet are flat on the floor, and so you can start to scan along the tops of the feet, along the soles of the feet towards the heels, scanning in detail, detecting vibrations from bones and blood and muscles. All parts of the human body give off vibrations. And then we're going to slide your attention, your laser beam, up into your ankle joints and take the power of your mind, the heat and light inside those joints to make space, to soften the cartilage. Above all, joints need space. We are in the gravitational field, so there's a constant pressure pounding from above to keep us on the earth, to keep us grounded. And very often the knee joints and the ankle joints and so on suffer through this bombardment of gravity. So make space in the ankle joints, and then let's start to scan up the lower leg, little by little, inch by inch, detecting vibrations. And then we encounter the calf muscles. The calf muscles are often hard because we are in the gravitational field, and also maybe our posture is not good or we're tired. So soften those knee joints with the heat and light of your unique, powerful mind. And just that thought, that visualization of your knee joints filled with heat and light from your mind will make changes. Then let's start to scan along, if you're sitting, up, if you're standing, the thigh. This is the longest bone and muscle area of most humans. Keep scanning along or upwards, detecting vibrations, illuminating any dark, tight places in your thighs. And eventually we encounter the torso. And at the base of the torso is the base chakra. And this is a congregation of nerve endings. It's where we generate most of our energy. It's also the place of birth for women, of procreation for men, and of elimination for all humans. We need to eliminate toxins. And if we don't do that, then we will die. So this very important place at the base of your spine. Now, just close to your base chakra, there are a series of little bones, the tail of your spine. They're called the coccyx, maybe 3 to 5 little bones with a little disc in between them. So scan up the coccyx, and then you come to the sacrum, which is a spade-shaped bone, quite large, at the base of the spine. And this helps us to bear weight, not only our own weight, but the weight of anything we're carrying. And above that, we'll find the lumbar bones of the spine. These are big, chunky bones with a disc in between them to protect, to cushion them. So bone, disc, and we climb up the back of the body, up behind the intestines, bone, disc, behind the solar plexus, bone, disc, and right behind the diaphragm, the breathing muscle of the body, bone, disc. And eventually, as the bones start to get smaller, we encounter the rib cage. And the rib cage is a flexible cage containing all your vital organs. And the most magnificent of your vital organs is your heart, beating constantly. And you can detect the vibrations of your heart very easily. Let's climb up behind the heart, bone, disc, right up into the top part of the chest, where we can find the lungs, flickering away, processing the oxygen for our survival. Climb up behind those lungs, bone, disc, and eventually reach your hand up to touch the notch on the back of your neck. This is the top of your chest spine, your thoracic spine. And then from here on up, the bones of the spine become much smaller, still separated by discs, bone, disc, and the spine disappears up inside the skull. And right at the top of the spine is the atlas joint. And this is where the skull pivots. It's not attached to the spine. It's held in place by a series of crucial muscles of the head, neck, and upper back. And they're called the primary control muscles. So right at the top of your spine, you are a glorious length now. Above you, the heavens, the sky, down below you, the earth, and your spine is lengthening right up and down to connect you to the earth and to the heavens. Glorious sight. So, and you've achieved at least 1 centimeter in length on your spine simply through the power of your unique mind. No doing at all. This is non-doing, just using the power of your mind. When you detect the vibrations of my bell, allow your eyelids to float open and gaze softly ahead. Wonderful. So look out into the visual world and remember how you felt at the beginning of this practice 20 minutes ago. Gaze out into the world in a completely different way. Softened muscles around and behind the eyes, your spine lengthened, crown of your head going up, base of your spine down, soles of your feet down. And your whole body is aware through practicing whole body listening. Your breath has deepened, the rhythm has changed, and now you are in the perfect condition to navigate the visual, intellectual world and not be pulled out of balance. Have a wonderful day ahead, and I'll be back on Friday, same time, same place. Bye-bye for now.